British manufacturing is booming, and we're making more stuff than at any point in the last 10 years, including fire extinguishers. If you're ever unlucky enough to find yourself fighting a fire, your best chance of getting out safely is with a fire extinguisher. They can be found in homes, hotels and offices around the world, and many of them have been made right here by P50 Fire in Norfolk. Founded by Roger Carr nearly 30 years ago, they're Britain's biggest exporter of fire extinguishers worldwide.
Well, in my company I'm known sometimes as the Nutty Professor. So I started off servicing fire extinguishers in the very early days. After 2 years, I invented my first product called the Norfolk range.
Roger was one of the early innovators of the seize and squeeze handle that's still in use today. Fire extinguishers are pressurized containers that pump out water, foam or chemicals to extinguish a fire. They consist of a metal body, a pressure gauge and a hose. P50 produce 80,000 fire extinguishers every year, including the classic steel design that's little changed since the 30s. Steel is easy to shape, is strong and relatively cheap. But Roger has invented an entirely new design that's taking the world by storm.
This is the only product in the world of its type. And the product can be completely recycled, which is very important in today's world.
His revolutionary P50 is unlike any other fire extinguisher. It's made almost entirely of plastic. Making a fire extinguisher begins with manufacturing the cylindrical body. This one's made of hollow plastic, then strengthened.
So we have a recipe that's secret to ourselves, which is a part of the patented product. It creates 5 layers to the bottle, and that gives it a uniqueness. "614 grams of plastic pellets are melted down and poured into a steel mould. Then, high-pressure air is blown into it to expand it. So this is a cylinder that's been blow moulded. It's around about 50% lighter than a steel extinguisher.
Not only is it lighter, Roger's plastic design is stronger and requires no annual maintenance, making it cheaper.
And none of the product is actually wasted. This goes off to production, and the waste gets reground and is used again.
So that a handle can be attached to the cylinder later, a nickel-plated brass flange is added.
So here we now have the cylinder with the flange applied to the actual body, which is now going to go onto the machine to be spun.
Now it's wrapped in a heat-resistant fibre to make it strong enough to cope under pressure. I could do with a quick spin myself. This particular fibre is usually found in flak jackets and stab vests and is 5 times stronger than steel.
Without the fibre being applied to it, has a burst pressure of 4 to 5 bar. Once you apply the fibre onto it, it has a burst pressure of 80 bar. It's our baby.
Every cylinder is then pressure tested to make sure they can safely store their contents at high pressure.
We place it into the testing chamber and we hold the test pressure for 25 bar. That takes about 30 seconds.
P50 know that their cylinders can take up to 80 bar of pressure before they explode.
As long as the cylinder remains in excess of 22 bar, we get a pass rate.
Now it's time for a makeover. First, an outer cylinder is added.
This is where we apply the red jacket. I'm sure it'd be very nice to have gold cylinders out there, but we have to stick to the EN regulations, which say every extinguisher should be red.
All fire extinguishers have to be painted in regulation flame red, so they can be found easily in an emergency.
We are doing around about 200 units a day. These guys are working really hard at the minute.
So the all-important instructions can be printed on the side, the red cover has to be heated.
Jeff is flame treating one of the cylinders now before we screen print it. So we didn't do this, the ink will simply slide off the plastic.
It's then screen printed and UV treated so the ink doesn't fade. Next up, a handle and a pressure gauge are added. The easy-to-use squeezy handle is quick and simple, just what you need when a situation's heating up. On to the final stage, adding the all-important extinguishing agent.
So here we are filling the P50s now. This is Lee.
Domestic fire extinguishers can be filled with 5 different fire agents: water, chemicals, CO2, dry powder, and foam. Fire regulations say which one you need to put out different types of fire. This P50 is being filled with foam, which can put out fires caused by wood, paper, textiles, solvents, and chemicals. 6 litres of aqueous film forming foam, or AFFF, are put in the canister. It smothers fires with a layer of film that starves it of oxygen. To create the pressure that propels the foam, gas is needed.
The gas we use is 95% nitrogen, 5% helium.
The helium gas is added to help check for potential leaks.
Helium's a searching gas. We've put the unit into here, it's sniffing for the helium. It's trying to find the helium. Helium will find a way out, it's an escaping gas. It's no laughing matter for us. The last thing we want to do is ship a unit from here and it leaks. From here, we apply the gauge cap covers and also the hose.
And now it's time to fight some fires. Simply squeeze the handle to release the foam and sweep from side to side. Roger has a lot of experience.
I'm now at the age of 73. I hope to continue for at least another 10 years. My passion's been in fire. Made in Britain all the way through.